Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Despite having a bloated budget, despite being canceled and met with absolute failure as far as gamers go, Concord doesn't seem to want to go away. And here we are. Of course, we're going to beat the proverbial dead horse right now. And, well, somebody's bringing it up, wants to complain about it, and for some reason comparing it to the massively successful Marvel Rivals and making the statement, why did Concord have to die? Well, there are lots of reasons. And Marvel Rivals gets to live. It's like, well, there's lots of reasons. We're going to go over a few of them, but let's see what the cope and seethe going on social media has to say. As originally discovered by YouTuber Hero High on the Concord Games subreddit, a wonderful place to go if you want, well, objectionable, particular opinions. A question was asked whether or not Concord fans have tried Marvel Rivals. They have. I promise you. They have. No matter what they say, they have. I've tried Marvel Rivals and what their first impressions were. Oh, I can't wait to read this. The top-ranked response currently reads, "It plays nothing like Concord." That's a positive, ladies and gentlemen. I personally don't like the movement or shooting at all and don't get all the hype and praise it's getting. Oh, there's a few reasons. If you want similar gameplay to Concord, Destiny 2 is your best bet. Destiny 2 is not doing all that well right now, but okay. But the PvP in that game is basically unplayable. Then why would you compare Concord, which is a PvP arena shooter, to, well, team-based arena shooter, to Destiny 2, which is apparently basically unplayable. Unfortunately, but the PvE is still good. Again, opinions vary. Another replied, "I feel like the majority of the hype and praise it's getting is just because it's one of the first good online Marvel games." Keyword there. Good. How are you making that comparison to Concord? What are you trying to say? What are you leaving out? What are you trying to mislead your audience, your reader? Good Marvel games to come out in this entire period of MCU box office domination. Not anymore. I don't know what you're watching, which is waning. It's been waning for years. And a lot of people who are unhappy with Overwatch trying to signal boost a competitor. The game itself feels pretty damn unpolished. Hundreds of thousands, almost 500,000 players would disagree with you. Unbalanced compared to Overwatch or even Concord. Well, we're never going to know how balanced Concord was because that game didn't last 10 days. Did it? Before it was dropped like a bad habit. Plays nothing like Concord. Again, that's a positive. Don't like the moving or shooting? You're in the minority. Don't get all the hype and praise it's getting. Well, there's numerous reasons. One of which, regardless of what your opinion is or how you feel, the price of entry. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Multiple platforms. You can play it for free. If you're not sure about it, you don't have to invest $40 to get into the game to find out whether or not you're going to enjoy it, which adds a lot to its popularity. Number two, it's Marvel. Regardless of what you say, regardless of the success of other Marvel video games in the past, this, again, you have to combine the two. Other Marvel games had a price tag on them. $30, $40, $60, $70, $100 for some pre-order nonsense that were essentially based in bait and switches. Marvel Avengers, bait and switch. You played as Miss Marvel. Oops. Another reason, which is probably, I'd definitely put that in the running for number one reason, is that it's pretty to look at, especially compared to Concord, with its atrocious color palette and uninteresting, boring, disgusting character models. You do not get any of that in Marvel Rivals. You even have rather thick characters like Squirrel Girl, who was apparently rather popular. And recently, the most recent patch, I believe, has added a few extra skins. Season 1 has started. And again, they're all pretty to look at. Male, female, robot, hell. Even Rocket Raccoon is a good-looking character. Very well done. Something that Concord probably should have learned from. Another individual replied, "Why did Concord have to die? Because it played terrible, it looked terrible, it had a terrible price tag." There you go. Marvel Rivals gets to live. Free price tag. Ease of entry. With a popular IP, regardless of how the comic books are doing, regardless of how the TV shows, the movies, the cartoons, Marvel as a brand will always be popular. Magneto, the X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, especially Venom. You could name them all. Every single character is beloved by someone. They all have interesting mechanics that work together. So why did Marvel Rivals become so popular? It's like, because people still legitimately love the IP. Just because as fans don't really care for where the IP is going in current day, that does not mean people do not want a popular, people don't want a fun, make it fun first, fuckers. They don't want a fun Marvel game. Let's see. Desford then explained why Concord likely would have failed, even if it was free to play. Well, if Concord had been free to play, I'm sure more people would have tried it out, checked it out, played it for a little bit longer. Maybe it would have lasted longer than, well, 10 days. But it was ugly. It was ugly. There's no denying it. The color palette of the maps, the color palette of the characters, and the design, the aesthetic look of the characters was unpleasant. Period. You can't deny that. One of the main things that gamers like to do is play games that they are fun to look at. You can have unrealistic world building, character design. They can be unrealistic, but if the theme, if the style is pleasant to look at and makes sense, people will play it. Lots of games out there just like that. Let's see, where's the quote? Let's say then it was free to play. Now tell me the difference, how much longer it would have lasted. Maybe a few months. Game, even on free beta, hit 2,000 and keep drop play. English is not your first language. Game, even on free beta, hit 2K and keep drop players already on that time. Did basically present the same issues from beta, and it died a few weeks later because it was ugly. Doesn't make a single difference. Paint a ship with other color. If you don't fix the holes, it will sink anyway. I'm just reading this, folks. Again, Marvel Rivals have its own factor. Did understand well. Oh my goodness, moving on. So pretty much what he's saying, the game didn't play well. It was terrible to look at. Marvel Rivals did a better job. It's prettier, it's free to play. So would free to play have helped Concord? Would it have saved it? I think it would have helped it last a little bit longer. So you have 3,000 or 4,000 people playing it. And if what I've heard, that the actual game mechanics of Concord were good, heard it from numerous players that I would trust their integrity far more than the game journals out there, that it did play well, it had interesting mechanics. Perhaps word of mouth would have saved it had it been a free-to-play model. Nevertheless, Concord fans rolled out the cope and seethe. One individual posted, Concord failed not because of its design, lies, gameplay, price, or quality as a game. Really? No. Press X to doubt. Because it became a target of a culture war, because there seems to be this odd narrative that if you're part of the culture war, you are dead on arrival. The problem with that is people can make videos, channels like mine, Hypnotic, Smash JT, even Asmongold. They can make videos. We can all make videos calling a game dead on arrival. But when a game comes out and it's fun and the gameplay is well and the servers are stable, then word of mouth will take that and push it to the stratosphere. When all of a sudden someone comes out and says, wow, I didn't think this game would be fun, but it's absolutely fantastic. Play the game, you stream it, you show potential customers what is there, what's in front of them, what they would have to look forward to. Word of mouth can build a game. It happens over and over again. We think a game, or in some cases, a TV show like The Penguin. Who on earth is this for? Why are they making this? Oh my goodness, it's going to be terrible. It's not going to make any sense. And then word of mouth carries it to the stratosphere. That is what word of mouth does. That's the purpose for it. To think that making a few videos calling a game dead on arrival is simply going to 100% tank the game, it's difficult for me to believe that 100%. It will be a contributing factor to initial sales, of course, because people will hold on to their money. But one of the things that I definitely preach, and numerous channels preach out there, make your own decisions when it comes to purchasing, but don't pre-order. These companies, these developers, they do not deserve your money up front. Wait for the game to be released. And half the time when the game comes out, it's a buggy mess, crashing once and twice and 3 times in a 1-day period while you're trying to play, kicked from the servers and whatnot. It's an incomplete game. So wait for it to be patched. Wait for it to be on sale. They don't deserve your money. Vote with your wallet. Wait for someone you trust to review the game. So yes, absolutely, videos disparaging a video game or a TV show or a movie can affect the initial response to it. But again, people put their money where their mouth is all the time. They'll play the game. They'll stream it. They'll show their viewers, potential customers, what is actually there, and then form an opinion from there. And then the audience can form their own opinion. Word of mouth can definitely make or break the success of a product, I think far more than, well, those initial videos, those initial DOA videos. So despite being fun for those who actually played it, if it was so much fun, why didn't you share it with your friends, with your family, with your fans? Why weren't more people streaming the game? Oh, maybe it had to do with the ugly color palette, no one was interested, and the $40 price tag. Was it worth it? No, because you're in a market of free-to-play games. Why would someone spend $40 on a game where they could go play something similar, Overwatch 2, for free and get the same experience? That's a little bit prettier, especially Rule 34. Moving on. The backlash was so intense that even liking the game invited ridicule. Criticism is not ridicule. Calling someone like, I question your taste in entertainment, that's not ridicule. In the end, more people criticized Concord than actually experienced it. Well, that's probably correct considering they only topped out at, 2,500 players during the free-to-play open beta. Fully 100% open beta for free across all platforms. Couldn't break 3,000. I think it barely broke 2,500. Which made it impossible for the game to succeed. Again, price tag, the environment, and the look. Follow-up user added, quote, there was no chance for hype and little promotion. Lies. It was shown off at the Game Awards, I believe. A trailer that came out that showed some gameplay, and it was criticized then. Not for the look, and that was before they got involved in the whole culture war nonsense, as they put it. The gameplay was shown, the color palette was shown, and people criticized it then. But what happened? The developers didn't listen. So, you want to blame the culture war? I blame the devs for not listening to the fans. And today, content creation is the best form of marketing. Okay, platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram are now the primary ways gamers discover new titles. Bingo! You mean like people playing the game and streaming it and showing it to their fans? Almost seems like it has nothing to do with the culture war. Far outpacing traditional ads or reviews, which makes you wonder why some of these studios are spending so much money on advertising. Just pay Asmongold. Actually, you could probably give Asmongold a free copy of the game and all the bells and whistles and let him play it. Or let any number of countless video game streamers, Let's Players, and all the competitive players, hell, give it to Ninja. Why not? Maybe you might not even have to pay him. Or pay him half or a quarter of the amount that you would spend on marketing and advertising. Give that to a content creator with a large following. Let them play the game. But you're not going to do that because more than likely you don't have confidence in what your product will present. Games like Among Us and Fall Guys succeeded thanks to creators, not billboards. Well, yeah. Problem with Concord is that most of the content created around it was negative because it looked like trash. You have to admit that. The game looked like garbage. It was aesthetically unpleasant. Why would someone devote time to that when it is aesthetically unpleasant to play? Big deal. In a time when word of mouth and influencer endorsements are key. So you're agreeing with what I just said. Negativity had a huge impact on its failure. Edit. Most of the content about Concord was rooted in culture war topics. Again and again and again. Like it or not, partially true, but I still think the price tag, the look, and the market had more to do with any of the culture war nonsense that surrounded this game. The pronouns in the bio, the they, thems, the whatever. That had to do with the game. The unnecessary nonsense in the game. Because ultimately, gamers don't care about the pronouns of the NPCs that they are playing or the PCs that they are playing. They don't care. They want to know the mechanics, how well they work with other characters, and what they can do in the game that they are playing. The vignettes announced, gamers don't care about that. Not as far as the gameplay goes. Maybe the shippers on Reddit and Tumblr or whatever, they'll be more than happy with that, and that areas of TikTok and X. But as far as the people who are actually going to play your game, very small percentage care about that. Cope and seethe, cope and seethe. At some point, we're going to stop talking about Concord. Forget about Concord. Let it waste away into the nothingness that is the internet. But then again, the internet is forever. So who knows when the next time this absolute abject failure of a game will come up again. I'll go ahead and link the article in the comments section, down below. Link to the article would be in the description if you want to go and read more Cope and Seethe by good old John F. Trent. Posting this does a lot of the heavy lifting for content creators out there, article readers like myself. That doesn't even make sense. Anyway, that's all I've got. Hopefully more videos coming soon, as I took a lovely little break during Christmas. But let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all those nifty little things that YouTube is back to you doing. I do hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.